My name's Pete Woods. You're watching Hexhamtv. Who are you?
Hi, my name's Naomi Ainley. I'm the curriculum manager for Northumberland College for the animal, equine, veterinary nursing departments at the Kirkley Hall campus.
So, Naomi, I understand that there's a new bit of technology that the college has put into action. Tell me a little bit about it.
Spencer, yes. So we have been really, really lucky that and thankful that due to funding that we've been given from the Department of Education for T levels, we've been able to purchase an equestrian simulator. So Spencer is our Racewood Limited equestrian simulator. He's the Dressage Pro model, which is a really, really new piece of kit. We're only actually the second people in the country to take delivery of this technology, and certainly the first college. And he's an upgrade to Racewood's dressage simulator that it's been hugely successful. It's a fantastic piece of kit and it's been within industry for years now. And Spencer's just a little bit of an upgrade on that. So he's got a motorized neck. So it means that it moves much more like that you would expect when you're sat on a real horse. It's much more lifelike. And he's got sensors that are set lower into his back so that when the saddle goes on, you don't feel you're so far removed from the horse. And he's got new and improved leg sensors as well. So yeah, he's pretty special.
So, what sort of students will use this bit of technology?
Oh, it's so versatile. And I want to be really clear as well that yes, it's fabulous for our staff and students, but actually we're making him available for the wider equestrian community as well, which is really, really important to the college. It's not about us being standalone. We're really lucky that we get this funding for this equipment. So it's brilliant to be able to offer it to local equestrians as well. But he offers us a huge amount of scope. So there's so many different areas that he will come into play. So we have vocational students that come out of college from, they've done the GCSEs and they come to us when they're sort of 16, 17. And he will be available to our level 1 and level 3 students for that in terms of being able to use him to improve their riding. So what he offers, the sort of standard equestrian, is that when they sit on a real horse, there's this kind of interaction obviously between the horse and them. So what the horse does affects them, what they do affects the horse. And when you're an athlete, if you're a runner, if you're a rower, you're just really focusing on you and your performance. It's the only sport really where you have that something else comes in and messes up what you do, if you like. I'm sure other sports would disagree, but in terms of a living creature, that they have their own strengths and weaknesses. So what the equestrian simulator enables that rider to do is to sit on and work purely on their performance. So their core strength, their balance, their flexibility, their strength. And it gives us feedback. So when the rider sits in, we have a sensor under the saddle that shows in real time where that rider's balance goes. The leg sensors will tell you whether you're correctly applying the leg aids. So we use the leg aids to say to the horse, right, we want you to go faster, we want you to turn, we want you to go sideways. And it shows us how clear that message is. Because obviously, if you're giving an instruction to a fellow human being, if you come and speak to that person in English, you and I would understand it. If that person comes and speaks in German, we might be a little bit more confused. And with the horse, every time we do something different, it's coming across as a different language. So it's about sort of clarity. And then we have rein tensiometers as well. So the rider can feel how smooth their rein use is, because obviously the rein's attached to the bit's in the horse's mouth. It's a very sensitive area. So we've got that as well. So the rider can really come and go, oh, actually, that part's stiff. That means that bit isn't working as well. And oh my God, the horse is only getting half the message. Or I'm continually sitting to one side. So no wonder the horse is always moving away, in a way it does. So it's fantastic for our riders to get that feedback. And we can use that to monitor over time. So they can maybe come and do a little diagnostic, take a photo of their feedback after their session, and then 2 or 3 months' time, come back and do the same thing to see what's got better, maybe what's got worse. And that feedback you can't get from someone sat on the ground, when you're teaching, when you're watching a horse and rider. So it's fascinating from that perspective. But it also offers us so much more in terms of we have non-riders. So we have students that don't ride either because they don't want to, or physically they might not be able to. And now they can ride because they can ride Spencer and they can have exactly the same experiences that our riders would have. In terms of coaching, so our level 1 to 3 students will teach other horse and rider combinations. They get to use the tech, and that's a huge bonus for our students going out into industry, that they actually have that working knowledge of being able to use an equestrian simulator. I mean, essentially, it's like a glorified computer game, let's be honest. So if you're a gamer, it would absolutely speak to you in terms of what you're doing there. So they have that. We have the RDA group based with us, Morpeth RDA. And it has RDA functions as well. So we can use it for our riding for the disabled clients. Two of our RDA coaches had training to use the tech yesterday. So they're now accredited coaches as well. And so it's across the board, and for our HE learners as well, our higher education learners, because we have a foundation degree and we have a BSc top-up as well in equine management. They get to look at all that plus the research as well, so they can conduct a little bit of research into the use of the simulators, and also look at not just the benefits for the rider, but actually how is this good for the horses? How does this alleviate some of the stresses and the workload for the horses? So it's brilliant. And then obviously we've done some training. We had a second training day yesterday. Racewood came up and they trained some external practitioners. So we had some therapists, some physios, some coaches, and that means that they can then come in and use Spencer for their external clients as well, which means the wider community also benefits and has that access. So it's pretty massive. I talked a lot there. So yes, but it is a huge thing, and it's created an awful lot of interest. And
what sort of reaction have you had from the students?
Oh, students love it. They are so excited. We've got ex-students that are really jealous because we knew it. We've always wanted it. I mean, for years we've wanted a simulator, and when we finally got the go-ahead with the funding, I rang up Racewood and sort of said, and they said, well, actually, we've got a new model in development. Would you be interested? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. They told me, and I'm like, why wouldn't we? We are within equine. We are quite becoming fairly well known now for actually sort of taking steps of embracing new ways of doing things. We're very pro welfare with the horses. We are making changes to the way we keep our horses in terms of much more focus on how the horse feels about everything. It's a partnership, but actually the horse has very little say in what we do. So it really tied in with that. Yeah, come on, let's do it. Let's do something new. Let's do something a little bit different. So yeah, it's a brilliant opportunity.
So what courses do you run at Northumberland College that students might be interested in if they're considering a career in this area?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Obviously what sort of area of equestrianism they're looking to. So our school leavers would be aiming for a range of sort of more practical opportunities, sort of hands-on within the industry. And we've got to be really clear here. If you're going to work in any industry, you need to serve some time, if you like, on the shop floor. You need to learn about horses and how they behave and how they react. You need to learn those basic skills, because ultimately that's what horse people need. They need someone that can lunge a horse or can clip a horse or, can work a horse from the ground. So those level 1, level 2, level 3 courses enable the students to really get to grips with those sort of basic skills, but also cast forward and learn the theories and the things that are happening in the future of the industry. And that's one of the reasons why we feel Spencer's such a great addition, because it's normal now that they use a simulator, that they can set him up, that they can teach with him. How fab is that? But yeah, so they learn those skills, and work experience is really, really important with that as well. So we are hugely grateful to all our equestrian businesses that work with us in the area. offering placements to our students, because we can't give them that real world experience, within the 2 or 3 days that they're in college. We sort of teach them the basics, but that our employers are so important, just to give them that extra element and to give them that real sort of work time and really understand the industry. And our guest speakers as well that come in or host visits, thank you so much, because it makes such a difference to our students and helps us do what we do. I don't know if you're aware, but the EPNI group, of which Northumberland College is part of, and of course Kirkley Hall, we were recently sort of awarded Ofsted Outstanding status across the board in every area, which is massive, and that is very, very much part and parcel down to our employers coming in and helping us do what we do. So it is a huge thank you and much appreciation to them. In terms of the other courses that we have, so we have adults. Adults can come in and tag on to those vocational courses if they want to. They would still be taught over 3 days, maybe a week of a week, which is quite a big time, obviously, requirement, because adults obviously usually have external commitments, sort of family, or they need to keep working part-time. And so sometimes for adults, the HE courses might be more appropriate. So we have a foundation degree in equine management, training and coaching. And we have the top up for that as well. So you can do the full BSc honours. And that's actually delivered 2 days a week. So it works well for adults. So we have a sort of range of sort of 18-year-olds that come straight from either school or from college. And we have a brilliant range of mature learners doing that as well. And actually the dynamic that creates is fabulous. And we sort of walk them through that. Okay, so this is maybe what we've done in traditional industry, but this is the research, this is where we're going, and it's very, very different to the environment perhaps that you're in. So it is a little bit like light bulb moment, and it's fabulous, and I love working with our HE students. And we're really competitive. Our HE courses are really, really competitive, because we know now it's not cheap to study for a higher education degree. But I think what we probably have with higher education that we don't have with vocational education yet is that eye on the real future and bringing that actually into the now.
Mm-hmm. So some people would think that universities use the cutting edge technology, but you're telling me that colleges are there too, and particularly Northumberland College.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong, our staff benefit from postgraduate study within those universities. They have their place, and their knowledge and their research is fabulous. But in terms of what I think the colleges do really well, and I think it's above and beyond what the universities offer, is that it's very much within the place. So we are very much focused on the Northumberland community. We are very much focused on actually applying practice in the workplace. So we take that theory and we go, right, okay, so that's the theory, but this is what you'll see in the workplace. This is where your skills and knowledge are going to really help you excel in your career going forwards. And in equestrianism in particular, I don't know if you've heard of social license to operate, but you'll probably be aware of some of the concerns that have been created around racing, maybe, about the welfare of the race horses, and recent Olympics, worries about injuries and actually the horses actually really having a nice time as well as us, and it's created a massive sort of mind shift and a lot of kind of upset really within the equestrian industry. And we're at the stage now where we are navigating that. We're caring for our horses differently. We're teaching our students slightly different approaches, ways to recognize actually when the horse is having an all right time and maybe not having an all right time, and to act on that, and for the future of the industry, that's vital. And at the end of the day, we're in the horse business because we love horses. And why wouldn't we want to give those horses the best experience that we can? And Spencer is absolutely part of that. We've had the criticism thrown back to us a couple of times. Oh, well, it's not like real horses, and actually it's a bad thing and it's negative. I would wholeheartedly disagree. Spencer takes away, he knocks the rough edges off us so that we can do better for our horses. We can learn to be straighter. We can learn to be more even, which means we're better communicators with the horse when we're riding. How can that ever be a bad thing? He's never going to take the place of a real horse. Absolutely never. But he's fantastic, and he can work from dawn to dusk. And he doesn't.
No mucking out.
Yeah, no mucking out, no mess, no smell, no riding out in the cold, no riding out in the rain. You know, he is amazing opportunity for our riders to really sort of hone in and focus on themselves, removing all the unevenness and the difficulties that are associated with the horse. So from the benefit of the species of the horse, it's a huge bonus.
What I'm picking up is students get the theoretical knowledge, the practical experience, and then there's a very good link to local employers. So, you know, if someone's interested in the equine industry and a career there, then you know, the course that's run at Northumberland College, Kirkley Hall, something they should consider.
Yeah, and we'd love to. We've actually got some open events. Go and have a look on our website. If you look on our website, there's a link, a tab there for open events. Come and have a look. Come and see us. Come and meet Spencer. Come and meet the team. Have a look around. You know, if you're employers, we've got a Facebook page as well. Northumberland College Equestrian Union, I think it's called. Sorry, John, it's your manager, and I can't remember the name of his page. But drop us a message through that, and I'll get in touch, because, you know, like I say, we're not, it's that phrase, isn't it? No man, you know, it takes a village to raise a child. I think I'm probably misquoting, but you know, we don't do this in isolation. We're not outstanding because we do it alone. We're outstanding because we go out into industry and go, hey, what can we do for you? How can you help our students? How can we help you make our students better prepared for when they step onto your yard, you know? And yeah, it's very much a sort of collaboration.
Naomi, thank you very much for talking to Hexhamtv.
Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you.
This is our Racewood Limited Dressage Pro Simulator.